And this is going to be really important for you for the next chapter because there's about 5 to 6 different methods of 4 or 5, okay, of using dollar value. Okay, so it's going to be, well, it's going to be of using retail methods, and then dollar value retail is one of those, which is just turns your brain upside down. So it's kind of fun. So of course, do it. Okay, who would use dollar value LIFO? What is dollar value LIFO? Did you pull that out of there? You want to use LIFO, why? Tax benefit. Okay, you want to use LIFO to get the tax benefit. But you want to keep all the records if you're not computerized. This is kind of an artifact of the past a little bit, but a lot of companies are still using it. Right? When there weren't computers, doing LIFO was really something. You had to keep track for each of your inventory items, all the different layers, didn't you? Okay? And then you would be eliminating those layers if you sold off the inventory, right, everybody? You know, so LIFO is a real pain to do if you're not computerized. If you're computerized, not as big a deal, right? And even when we had computers at first, the storage space in the computer was really expensive, right? So you could save a lot of money by not having to store your 100,000 inventory items out there with all the different LIFO layers. That makes sense? So what they did was they come up with this approximation method. That's all this is. It approximates LIFO for you. So you can get an approximation of what LIFO would be, and you still get the tax benefit, right? Sound good? So that's where it came from. And companies are still using it quite a bit, okay? So what we do is we establish a base year, which might be the year you start the company or the year you adopt LIFO, right? And then that will be the base you use to determine what your inflation has been year after year after year. So you adjust for the price index changes. And you might use the consumer price index, but not LIFO. Because the consumer price index is based on what you sell to your customers at, right? Okay, or the ultimate consumer price index. We could probably use a wholesale price index, so, you know, the index that we buy at, okay, for the inventory items. Or you can calculate your own. You can do what was the price change on my inventory items on average for my company, okay? So you got it, okay? And they talk about that in the chapter. But mechanically, what do? You establish 1 year as the base year, and they show an example of that, right? Starting on page 436, they're beginning inventory, and they just make that equal to 100. It's 100% of itself, right? It cost me $1 to buy $1 worth at that time, okay? And so they have 20,000 in their inventory. And then what they do is they add layers each year, or not. If you don't increase your inventory, guess what? You don't add a layer for that year. Does that make sense? You might decline the inventory too, but if you decline the inventory under LIFO, if you get rid of part of a LIFO layer, it's gone forever, right? You don't get it back, just because your inventory increases. So you might have layers from a year and then not have one for the next year and then have one for the next following year after that and then not have one. Got the idea? Okay? And if you deplete a layer, it's gone forever. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to look at what would it cost to buy the entire inventory if I had bought it in the base year. So I adjust my inventory at whatever it's costing me now. I take that year-end inventory that I counted, and I bring it back down to the base year. Okay? Then I compare that inventory to what I had in the base year, and if I have more now, guess what? I have another layer. Okay? And then the next year another layer, and the next year another layer. Make sense? So you can either be depleting it or you could be increasing it. Your inventory can go up or down, of course. Okay? So let's take a look at their little example. At the top of page 437, they show the base year is 2011, and then they show the next 3 years. And they have the inventory they counted, and they costed it out at year-end prices. That's year-end cost, right? Okay, that's the cost. And then they come up with a price index. And again, that price index might be a wholesale price index, might be the index for your industry. Got the idea? What we're saying is it cost me $1.15 in 2012 to buy what $1 would have bought in 2011. Got the idea? And that's it. And then in 2013, it cost me $1.20 to buy what $1 would have 2 years ago. So we have inflation going on every year, right? Okay, typically there is inflation, not deflation. Okay? All right, so sure. So then what we do is we convert it into base year dollars. How would you do that? What did they do? They took the price index, still in the first box on 437 at the top. They took the price index for each year and divided it into the year-end prices, and guess what? They get what the inventory would have been a base year. Of course, the first one, 200 is 200, so you divide it by 1, right? Everybody see it? Second one is 299 divided by 1.15 is 260, and so on. What would it cost me in the base year to buy that inventory? So what happens? We have a 200 base year inventory, right? Still there. And then we have 60 in base year dollars added the first year. Do you see that? The second year we lost 10 of it. Which ones are you going to lose? Last in, first out. Which ones are you going to lose? The most recent purchases. So you lost some of the stuff from 2012. You still got the 211 inventory. Make sense? Okay? And then the next year it goes up by 20. Well, guess what? You're going to do layer for that year. Everybody good? Okay? Will we have a 2013 layer seeing as it went down? Of course not. There won't be a 2013 layer if you didn't increase your inventory, right? Okay? So then all you do, you look at down at illustration 823, I guess, is you have the base year, 200, and that's of course at 100, so it's just 200, right? Dollar to dollar. The second layer is 60 we added, we said, right? So it'd be 60 times 1.15. What's it going to be the third year? If it goes down to 250, that's only going to be 50 at 1.15. Got the idea? So just you add up the base year plus that first year for the next two. And then on the last year, what are we going to have? The inventory goes up, in a little example. It goes up by 10, doesn't it? Nope, it goes up by 20. 250 up to 270, right? Goes up by 20. What is that going to be? It's going to be that 20 times the 1.3 index for that year. Okay, you can see in the rest of the example that's exactly what they did. Take a look over on page 438. Okay. There's the 200 base in the first year, right? That's your inventory in the base year too, right, guys? Dollar to dollar. The second year you still have that inventory, but you have a new layer, right? Which is 57.5, 50,000 increase in the layer, right? You got it. That's 2013. 2012 is the prior page. That's 2013. It went down to 50 and 60, right? Okay. And then notice in 825 now we've got the base year, right? Plus we've got 50 less from the prior year. We don't recover up to the 60, right? Okay. We've got 50, which is 57.5, and now we have 20 more at 130. And you just keep going. You can do this forever. Okay. So let's try an exercise. Let's do one. Let's do 825. Exercise 825. What do I have? What do I have for my year-end inventory? In year-end dollars. What's the first year? 2011. 2011. Okay. How many dollars? Year-end inventory. 80,000. Obviously, if you want, you can divide that by 1 and then take it times 1. There, right? It's fine. But that's 80,000, right? In base year dollars, it's 80,000. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the index and we're going to divide it into each of these so that we can get to base year, okay? And then we'll come up with what our increase is or decrease is each year, and we'll compute our inventory, huh? Okay, that's all this is going to be. And this isn't too bad, you get this down, but when we add retail to it, and we make a retail dollar value LIFO, it kind of just be really fun, okay? So in the next chapter, we're going to use this to get it down now. Big point. Okay, so this index is 100, so of course 1 divided in 1.0, right, it's 100%, so it's still 80,000 base year. So there's my base. By the way, if at the end of the next year I only have 70,000 in base year dollars, what are they going to be? 70,000 of those, right? Because you could deplete this level too, right? This layer too, of course, right? Okay. What do we have in 2012? What's the year-end inventory in 2012 dollars? 115.5. 115.5. What's the index? How much are prices going up? 105. So we've had 5% inflation. Everybody see it? It's all it is. It's 105%. Take 1.05 and divide it into 115.5, and what do you get? They make the numbers work out really nicely, don't they? Okay? All right, so what I've got now is I have a base year, 80,000, right? Plus what did I add to it? Looks like 30,000, right? I have 2 layers, okay? So I've got that base layer, that's my first layer, that's my 2011 layer. Everybody good? In base year dollars. This is my 2012 layer in base year dollars, okay? Now reinflate them. Because we deflated those, right? This is now in 2011 dollars, all of them, right? I want my inventory in 2012 dollars on the layer I added in 2012, but the 2011 layer stays at 2011 dollars because I didn't sell them. It's LIFO, right? Last in, first out. I kept them. Okay? So this one is going to be the 80,000 is going to be times 100, of course. Okay? So year-in inventory for my financial statements. Okay? This is my financial statement inventory. Okay? This over here, this year-in inventory, is my cost at year-in. Okay? Year-in cost inventory. All right? So what am I going to put on my financial statements over here? 80,000 for the base year, plus what?
37 times 1.05.
You got it. 1.05. Inflated. So how much is that?
31.5.
31,500. So what's my year-end inventory at 2012? 111.5. There's nothing to this. Sort of nothing. Okay? Got it? Everybody see it? That's 2012. Year-end. Oh, what? 2012. I don't need to write year-end. It says year-end up above. Redundant there. Okay. So yeah, 111.5. Garbage in here. Okay, let's do 2013. And of course, the year's gone by, you guys, before you know this, right? You count the inventory. The problem is artificial, of course. So you do it each year. 2013. What's the year-end inventory in 2013 dollars?
108.
Even? Guess what? It went down even in year-end dollars. What do you bet we have a decline in the inventory? Bet we did. What's the index? 120? Wow, they had a lot of inflation, didn't they? Cost 120% of what it would have cost the base year to buy that inventory. Got it? Okay, so divide 1.2 into 108. What do you get? How much? Is that 90?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what happened to the layer from 2012? There's only 90, you guys. What happened to the layer from 2012? It looks like it went down by 20. We're going to make this layer, instead of being 30, it's now going to be 20. Everybody agree with that? That's going to be in base year dollars. Base year, I got, for 2012, now I only have 20. I've got 80 from the base year plus 20. Whoops, it's going to go down by 20. 10, come on. Down by 20, that's what we said. So I got 10 left, right? Because 80 plus 10, right, is the 90 we have at the end. Everybody see it? In base year dollars. How about the 2013 layer? How much is it? How much did you add in 2013? Zero. You didn't add anything from 2013. You used up some of the previous layers. So for 2013, now and forever, it's going to be nothing. Got it? There is no layer. But you didn't add anything. Right? You went down from 110 down to 90. Of course, you didn't add anything this year. Right? Even in base year dollars. Okay? So what are we going to do? We're going to take that 10,000 times what, folks? Whoops. Not 1.2, because we bought them in 2012, 105. Because I am getting rid of most of this 31.5, aren't I? Well, 2/3 of it. Right, guys? What I have left instead of 31.5 is how much? 10,000 times 105 is 10.5. You see what's going on? 2/3 of this one's gone. Okay? So now what I have is 80,000 base year plus 10.5 for the second year. Everybody agree? So how much do I have for 2013? 80 plus 10.5? How much is that? 90,500. See it? Okay? 90,500. Consists of two layers. 80,000 from the base year, right? There. And 10.5 from 2012. 80,000 from 2011 purchases. 10.5 from 2012 purchases. And 0 from 2013 purchases. There's no layer. Remember, what you start with, beginning inventory plus what you buy, purchases, is available, less this ending inventory is going to give you your cost of goods sold, right? So we're approximating LIFO, which is going to make our inventory less, right? right? It does, doesn't it? Making our inventory less. You can see it here. Okay, and what's it doing? Making our cost of goods sold more. Net income before taxes less. State taxes. Yeah, yeah, and we had a LIFO liquidation here too, didn't we? Absolutely. You liquidated part of that layer. 2/3 of it's gone, right? So we had LIFO liquidation going on. Absolutely. What's 2014? Okay, well we had 80 when we started, right? And then we went up to 110, which gave us an 80 layer and a 30 layer, okay? But then we only have 90 at the end of 2013. So what goes away is part of this 30 layer from 2012. We keep the 80 from 2011 and we added 10,000 for 2012. All that's left is 10,000 for 2012.
I got you.
That's it. And then that one we have to inflate, right? Because we bought him in a year when the index was 105. And, you know, he wanted to do this ridiculous. He wanted to pretend he bought it at 120. We'll never do that again, right?
I thought we were taking the 90 out of the 110, so that's why I was wondering about the other 1,000.
Yeah, well, we kind of are, right? Except we remember in the 110, 80 of it is the base year, and 30 is 2012, right? It's last in, first out, so you're going to deplete that 2012 layer, aren't you? Got it? Yeah. Okay. All right. 2014. What's our inventory? 1222.
Yes.
What's the index? Good grief, we got a lot of inflation. Okay, divide 12220 by 1.3, and what do you get? Each one of these we divided, I guess I could do that. Equals, and you know, if they're percentages, guys. So, you know, 1.3. Okay, how much is it?
94.
Guess what? I'm going to have a new layer for this year. Everybody agree with that? This time, I'm going to keep the 80 from the base year, aren't you guys? That's 80 of the 94. I'm going to keep the 10 from the next year. So I got 80 plus 10. Everybody agree with that? And then how much more do I have for 2014? What's the 2014 layer? What did we just add? You know, it was 90 last year in base year dollars. It's 94 now. How much should we add? 4. So what I have in base year dollars, you guys, this is in base year dollars. Remember that. In base year dollars, I have 80,000, right? I have another 10. 80,000 from 2011. 10 left over from 2012, right? Nothing from 2013. There is no layer. And 4,000 from 2014. So how are you going to calculate the inventory? Well, 80 times 100% is still 80, isn't it? 10 times 105 is still 10.5, isn't it? So isn't it going to be the 80 here plus the 10.5 here, and then what are you going to want to do with that 4? You bought it when the price index was what?
1.3.
Yeah, 130. So take it times 1.3. I guess you do it that way if you want to think about it that way. What's 4,000 times 1.3? 5,200. So all you have to do is add up 80 plus 10.5 plus 5,200. You got 3 LIFO layers now. One is from 2011. One is from, what was the base year? 2011. This first one is from 2011, right? 80 is from 2011. Okay. And then the 10.5 is from 2012, right? There's nothing from 2013. This one's from 2014. So what's the total at that point? At 2014, what would it be, guys? 80 plus 10.5 plus 5200. Now, you don't have to go to all that trouble. Because it went up, you could just take what it was last year, 90,500, and you could add 5,200 to it, right? Because you have a new layer added. That's all it is. If they don't deplete, you don't have to go to all the trouble, okay? So what is it, 95.7?
Yep.
I like it. Does everybody see that 95.7? First year was a 111.5. Second year is 90,500. Actually, I'm sorry. The first year was 80,000. Second year is 111.5. Third year is 90,500, and the fourth year is 95.7. That's 90,500 plus the new layer of 5,200. 2014. Okay, is there another one?
Mhm.
This is kind of a long one, that's why I picked it.
So just to break down all the layers in the layer code, for 2012, you would have had a 30,000 layer, and for 2013,
Well, I'd have a 30,000 at base,
well, at base, yes.
but at year-end dollars, it's 31.5.
Yeah, well, what I mean is like the base of it.
Yes,
So
80 plus 30 makes 110.
So that would have been 30, and the 2013 base would have been 0, and the 2014 base would have been 4.
Yes. Okay. But remember, in 2013, we lowered this base from 2012 down from 30 to 10, so we used up part of it. You got it. And then, but then you have to inflate them, right, for whatever the price was, the index was when you bought the goods. Okay. Absolutely right. So what's 2015? What's the number?
154.
154. What's the index? 1. 1.1. Okay, do it. It's 154 divided by 1.4. Go across. Do your new layer or deplete it. It's depleted. It's easy. Would you do a homework or something? You already did it. Say that's scary, so you can start doing homework for advance. Verify. I think the world is coming to an end. What's really funny is I've been working in corporate accounting and public accounting and stuff. And I started teaching, I actually thought everybody would just work. I guess I forgot what it's like to be college. You guys did do this, right? Just looking for, you think we were really going to do it? Trying to see about the specifically, you can go ahead and make your class from that. I decided to try teaching it. Not called enough and told them I was thinking about it. This keeps the only piece of advice I would give you is that do not expect students to work as hard as you do. Sure they will. Start laughing. He says, so how many staff work as hard as you do? Oh, yeah, that's true. They're human beings. They're not a machine like you, you're dumb shit. Yeah, like that. Okay, what's 154 divided by 1.4? 1 what? 120? 110. All right. So do we have a new layer? How about 110 less 94? What do you got? So for 2015, we have a 16,000 layer. Is that right? I got it. Okay. And then what do you want to do with that?
If it's the previous, the 95 second for the community.
Well, you got to do something.
Yes, 16 times.
Take it times 1.4.
And then
Yeah.
add that for the 95.
You got it. Okay, how much is that? What's that going to be? The new layer for 2015? 22.4?
Yeah.
All right, that's a 2015 layer. Sometimes it's good to do really long ones so you can see it better, right? But work a few of these. 95.7 plus 22.4, what is it?
118, or 118, 100.
What? Okay, that's the 2015 ending inventory for the financial statements, huh? 2016, is there one?
Yep.
How much?
1769.
Do that one.
1.5 index. No,
1.4.
1.45.
1.45. And you got
142.
just keep adding even.
Yep.
Yeah, they were nice to us.
So 12,000
So the
increase
2016 is a 12 grand more.
times.
Another. Look at all these layers you could have. What are we up to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, right. You just track. Computer takes care of us. Even by hand, this is a lot easier than tracking inventory items, right? This is your whole inventory here we're looking at. You're doing it all at once, right? So.
Times 1.45.
Yeah, times 1.45. What do you get again?
17.4.
17.4.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's a 2016 one, is it?
Add that for the 118.
So 118.1 plus 17.4 is how much?
135.5.
Is there one more?
And
Oh, well, I hereby decree there is one. 2017, okay? Doesn't even have 16 and 17. Okay, we decide this has been ridiculous. You know, you come in there, one of you brilliant people come in there and you say, crying out loud, why do we have all this inventory? This is crazy. You know, our sales haven't gone up nearly as fast. Our inventory turnovers are way down. And so you really work at it and you get this inventory down to $140,000. And also you do a better job of purchasing, so your index goes to 1.47, right? So almost no inflation that year after a whole bunch of horrendous stuff going on. Okay? All right, so what do we have? 95238. That's in base year dollars. That's what it would have cost in 2011 to buy the inventory. I would like you to tell me how much the ending inventory is. Can you do it?
You would just want us to round that, right? Because that does give us decimals.
Oh, in real life, yeah, just round it to keep the dollar. Yeah. I'm sorry, in real life you keep the decimals. On a quiz test, just round it. Try to get some decimal work out. They forced them all to work out. Do what you need to do with that 95,238. And I wouldn't take quite the same approach that I just did. I'd build it now. Which ones do you keep? Old ones or new ones? LIFO. Old ones. Okay, start with the beginning inventory and work your way down. Nothing to it. What will make, this is in base dollars, right? This is year-end dollars. Right? And what you want to know is what goes on the financial statements. So take this and tell me what goes on the financial statements over here at 2017. Do your layers. Start with those old layers. Instead of depleting them as you go, and you could deplete each one. They're gone. Which ones are gone? Which ones are left? Okay? Easy. Put you in there for the fleet. Okay? Probably a good use of my time, I guess. Probably a good use of your time. Sorry, Jack. He's going to blow the curve on the pipe. Sorry. That's the plan. Well, you said on that incomplete for a while. How are you doing in 212?
212. I'm not in 212 anymore because I have 212 and 215 both.
How are you doing in 215? Pretty good.
Not too bad.
Yeah, okay. 212 again the next time. Oh, well, keep going. Keep going. Keep going. It's a marathon. You're not a sprint. I mean, I just couldn't stand that much insanity myself.
It was the same day.
Morning and night or something. Is that what it is for you guys coming up?
Yep. Yeah. Because like he only teaches like the 7:30 and the 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Brain doesn't function at 7:30 in the morning.
No, that one's going on.
The nights are worse. I hate night.
Well, I think night person too, but
God,
My class wants all the sleep.
especially 3 hours.
yeah.
The MBA is from 6:30 to 10 at night. Oh,
I
God.
forget theology 6 to 9 next semester.
It's horrible.
It's either theology or philosophy, one of the two. I have a 9 class 6 to 9, 1 day a week.
I took a history
It's
class.
probably philosophy because I know I would much rather take it with
So you guys got a number? Which layers do we still have? We still have this 80, right? There's 80,000 from 2011. Everybody agree with that? I'm just going to pick them up. We'll do it. 2011, we have 80, and of course the index at that time was 1, right? So that's 80,000 from your base year. Okay, I need 95,238. So what's the next layer? It's worked out pretty good. Way to go, Keith. We got 10,000 of this one left from 2013, right? That gets me up to 90. What was the index of 2013? Oh, it's from 2013, but it's really from 2012. I'm lying to you. left over from 2012, wasn't it? Apologize. Okay, so what was the index in 2012? 105, right? So we got 100 and 105. And that one we already decided was 10.5, didn't we? I'm not quite there. How much more do I need to make 95, 238? 5, 238? When is that layer coming in? What's the next layer, you guys? Oh, wait, there's only a 4,000 layer. Man, this would have been a good problem. I did a nice job. It's 4,000, isn't it? Everybody agree? 4,000 here? And that's from 2014. There's no 13 layer, of course. Okay, so we got 4,000, and what was the index at that time? 130. So you could have just picked up the 80 plus the 10.5 plus the 5,200, couldn't you? Okay, now how much more do I need? From 2015 layer, which was 16,000, I don't need it all. What do I need? I want to be 95, 238, you guys. I'm up to 94. 1,238, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Everybody see it? I want to have 95, 238 in total, don't I? I got an 80,000 one. I got a 10. I got a 4. I need, out of this 16,000, I'm going to have 1,238. And what was the index at that time? 1.4 is the next one. So I did keep a bunch of them. What's 1,238 times 1.4?
1,733.2.
And all I do is I'd add those up, and I know what my financial statement would have in 2017. So 80 plus 10.5 plus 5,200, what was that, 95.7?
Yes.
So it's 96, 97, 433, is that what it is? What do you guys got? It's 95.7, 96.7, yeah. 97, 433. This is easy, isn't it? Another way you could go is you could say, let's drop the 17.4, right? Everybody see that? Let's drop, how much of this one would we drop then? We're going to drop this 12, which is 17.4, and then we drop 16 less 1,238, whatever that difference is, times 1.4, and we could drop that too. So you could drop off layers instead of adding up layers, right? How many of you got 97,433? Did you just not do it? Do something wrong?
Yeah.
Did I do something wrong? What you do? You keep the old ones. You get rid of the newer ones. It's LIFO. It's
Why did they multiply by 1.4 instead of 1.3?
the year before was 1.3. This 4,000 was 1.3. This one was 105. This one was 100, right? So we got 100, 105, and 1.3. This layer was 1.4. I'm keeping some of this 16,000 here.
Oh, gotcha.
Got it?
Yeah.
So I'm keeping 1,238 of that.
Okay.
What I depleted was this 12 and all but 1,238 of that. Can I do it? Okay. All right, guys. So what else do you want to do? There was a question. Should never ask me a question. It takes me forever to answer one thing. You want to do one where you had to do the price index? Well, we're doing this topic, I guess. Next time we can talk about some other stuff. The one where we actually had to calculate. Oh yeah, 823. There it is. Oasis Company has used the dollar value LIFO method for inventory cost designation for many years. Following data came out of their records. So what they did was at December 31st, 2014, they have a price index of 105. They have their ending inventory at base prices of 92, and their ending inventory at dollar value LIFO of 92.6. So how do they know their price index is 105? They calculated it themselves, you guys. What do they do? What's 92.6 divided by 92,000?
1.006.
That didn't work. That didn't give me 105. What do you think? Oh, we got a price index of 105 then. you know what the ending inventory is at base prices, right? So we know what the increase is at base prices. How much is it?
97,000. 15.
Well, at base prices. Which is 5, right? 97 less 92 is 5. We have an increase in base prices, and then how much was their increase in the inventory at dollar value LIFO? All I'm doing is taking the 97 less the 92 and getting 5. What would you do to get the increase for that layer?
57.50.
Yeah, it's 98,350 subtract 92.6, right?
115.
So what I've got is something like this. 5,000 is the increase in base, right? Everybody agree? That's the new base layer. For 2015, is it? The new base layer is 5,000. Everybody agree with that? And the layer in year-end dollars, right? For the new layer for 2015 is how much? What would you say it was? 15? How much?
57.5.
575. How would they have gotten that? They take this times what? Index for that year. So how do you know what that number is? 5,000 times some number is 5750. What was it? 1.19. Okay. Let's do another one. I thought there was one in the exercises. Maybe it's back in the problems. Let's do another one. How about if you had this situation? In 2014, 2015, 2016. Let's say that I know that my base in each of these is 100, right? 100 is big. Well, I don't need to write that down. Your base is 100, right? Base is 100% of itself. So keep that in mind. And let's say that I look at my inventory and I say it would cost me $11,486 here to buy an inventory item. And here it would cost me $12,438. Here it would cost me $13,210. Can you tell me what my index is? And 2014 is the base year, okay? Can you tell me what my index is for 2014, 15, and 16? Tell you what, this one's 1, right? So how much inflation do I have each year? So if my inventory item or group of items I'm going to use, right, would have cost these amounts in each of those years, what would I use for my index for my entire inventory if I'm using this to estimate? What would you do? How would you calculate this? Set this equal to 100%, right? And then tell me what this one is relative to that one. That's all it is.
486.
What's that?
11,486.
So about 11.5, 111 point.
No. Did the first one say 11?
Yeah, 11,486. Yes, I apologize. That's 11,486 the first one. And it's 12,438 the second one, and 13,210 the last one. Tell me what the index would be for each of those years. What do you do? You know the base, you guys. It's 11,436. 11,486. 11,486 divided by 11,486 is your 1, right? What would you do the next year? 12,438 divided by 11,486. What would you get?
108.
Oh, really? Close to that, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Then what would you do?
13,210 would be divided by the 12,438.
No, because we want it as a percent of the base every time, right?
11,486.
Yeah, 11,486 in each.
115.
So it'd be about 115. Ta-da. You could do them, couldn't you? That's how they're calculated. That's how we do consumer price index, right? That's how we do wholesale price indexes. What's the difference between a retail or consumer price index and a wholesale price index? Consumer price index is what the ultimate consumer is paying for things, how much inflation there is on that, right? That's what I care about. I'm a consumer. I'm not buying wholesale. What's wholesale?
Who's buying bulk?
is the company selling to another company? Yeah, wholesale. Yeah, people buying in bulk at the food show. Okay. But it's the wholesale price, not the retail price, right? So which one applies in this case? Probably wholesale prices, right? Which one applies for me buying, bourbon, beer, wine? Yeah, consumer price index probably means more. Although even that one doesn't really apply because the inflation rate's different on different consumer products, right? There's all kinds of stuff I don't buy that might have no inflation or real high inflation. Really have to look at what you buy. Okay. So, what are you guys putting away stuff already? You have another question? Yeah, let's leave then. Don't tell anybody. 3 minutes early. That my other 2 classes in 2 minutes early. 2 minutes. Terrible. What happened to my work ethic? You're on soft. I know.
We did that the other day.
Yeah. That's why you put on my evaluation. You always let it pass weeks. Doesn't make us work enough. So when are we doing a quiz on this? We got 2 more days on this chapter. Wednesday, April 1st. Okay. Keep going. Go ahead and get started on 9 if you think 8's real easy. 9's not. Okay. Very exciting. Very, very little. Just hello, it's me. Right? Just tell them what you're applying for. That you're a student and tell them that Keith Richardson suggested that this would be a good internship for you to apply for. And I already told him that he should take me seriously, even though you're a horrible student. Something like that. You really want to change internships, man. Why don't you talk to your boss about the work that you're doing and you don't feel like you're learning when you really ought to be learning? Do that first and say, these other internships were,
I mean, it might like a sole audit internship, like trickle down.
there's cool ones. Geez is a real good one. Humana has some pretty good ones. Young Brands have wonderful ones. What you could do, though, is you could finish a year, and then next year you're going to be a sophomore. At the beginning of next year, get either GE, right, or get Young Brands, and you'll be more valuable because all the things you have done, and they'll grant it. Like the grant smell, you can do a first internship right now, GE.
Well, just fine.
And then you'll do a full-time internship, of course, if you're in a safe track, right? All right. If you're a little patient, it wouldn't kill you. I never have been, but you could.
Go to UDH.
Are your feelings hurt? We'll get horrible next week.
Later, Mike.
Yeah.
What do you think of Northwestern? You know anything about
Oh, God. You want to be an intern still?
no idea. There's like one of the recruiters messaged me or something.
Yeah, they're always trying to get people to sell their family insurance. There's nothing wrong with that industry if you're at a high level. But if you're entry level, you're going to be trying to sell your family life insurance. Don't do it. That's my recommendation.
I had no idea what it
Don't.
was. They just like messaged me.
It's not finance, it's not accounting, it's selling. That's what it is. Bet you, I'll bet you. You can ask them about it. Well, yeah, you can make lots of money. Well, sure you can.
It said something like specifically about some finance internship or something in the message on the floor.
Yeah. I mean, it might be, but everyone I've seen is folks that are working out of accounting do a lot.
That's right, a career in financial planning.
Yeah, financial planning. You're selling them financial products. Insurance products. It's financial products. Horrible. I would do it if I was going to be hungry otherwise.
You become really pushy.
Well, of course. You have to convince people to buy things they don't need or want.
Well,
Sometimes they do
you
need
need it, but
yeah, but what
not
you need
what
is
they-
term life insurance that costs the least amount possible, and then make money and put your money into the stock market. Don't invest it. Life insurance policy that pays 2%. Geez. Insane.
Have to go grab some lunch.
Alright, so how do I do much better? Can you write this down?
No, you're right into him.
Oh, I don't know.
Steve K.
Actually, supposed to tell you Austin, English.
Oh, Is there, there's no name associated with those sheets?
No.
Maybe, do they want to cover letter?
Yeah, it says on there, you can either write it right there or you can upload it.
To whom it may concern is just horrible.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Cover letters are kind of stupid.
What would be a good way to say it? Interview committee. If you're doing a scholarship, a straight scholarship committee, right? Not just, hey, maybe here, interviewer.
Boston English.
You have to put something on it.
I don't know. I've never had to write a cover letter. But there's like 4 or 5 of them that require you have one.
Used to say dear sir or dear ma'am. But you don't know if it's a sir or a ma'am.
It doesn't tell you anything.
I don't know. Why don't you ask Anne's email in the place that they use? I can't think of what they do in that situation. Dear sir.
I mean, I guess
Dear
it,
interviewer, dear committee. You don't know if the committee might be one person. But you can say dear sir, but that's certainly sexist. And if a woman is the first person to read it, that's kind of obnoxious.
Dear sir or ma'am.
Maybe that's what they do. Ask her what's the protocol. There's probably some protocol for stupid online stuff. Submitting a cover letter online is stupid. What they want to do is not fit right.
fucking right, but I feel like that's a pointless.
Yeah, you're going to say, highlight a few things from your resume that you think are really important. Why do you want this job? Why do you think you're qualified? Not embellish. Just point out things in your resume. You know, who you are. You know, you are a sophomore. I'm a junior academy major at Bellarmine University. And Keith Richardson suggested that this internship would be an excellent opportunity for me to develop my skills. And something like that. And then
So,
experience you have,
do you,
interest you have.
I mean, should it be a page long?
Oh, not even half a page. I mean, but no typos, no grammatical errors, perfection, right? Make it look right, you know, get it laid out properly on the page. You use a template for that. Copy a template, use a template.
Austin English should want me to say thank you because you said you got a full-time offer from which big four it was. I want to say it was EY. You just got a full-time offer.
On my behalf, tell him his standards are going lower and lower. When you see, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's right.
He worked so hard for that. Oh man, that's fantastic. That's really good. That's really good. So even you, see, you could do it someday.
Possibility.
It's possible. No, that's great. And you know those full-time internships typically lead to a job offer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you're in the door or something. You're not. It's not like you have a job, but usually, yeah, usually, unless their needs dramatically change, sometimes the economy, which is probably going up, not down. You guys might be graduating the next time the way things are going, and they're going to elect a Republican. The economy will be real good, right? The Republicans always like to point out that the economy boosts as soon as they get elected, and I like to point out when the Democrats got everything in place for boom, then you guys kill it. It goes right in. Yeah, anyway, now it should be pretty good. So that's fantastic.
Well, I'll let him know that their hiring standards are lower.
What's that?
So I'll let him know that the hiring standards are lower.
Yeah, tell him I said that.
All right. Thanks, Sophia.
Where did you say I could find Anna?
Oh, in the placement center. What did I say her name